Rod Wave is having the kind of week that feels like it was written by the world's most dramatic screenwriter. The kind who loves plot twists, emotional whiplash, and the kind of irony that makes you stare into the distance like you're in a sad music video. Because on the very same day that Rod Wave achieved one of the biggest milestones of his career, receiving his first ever Grammy nomination, he was also arrested in Atlanta on drug and weapons charges. Yes, same day, same timeline, no commercial break. If you were searching for the literal definition of life comes at you fast, this is it. So let's get into what actually happened, because the story has layers, like a deluxe album. And the timing is so unreal that fans, critics, and the internet have been processing it with a mix of shock, memes, concern, and straight-up confusion. Authorities in Atlanta arrested Rod Wave, real name Rodarius Green, and according to booking records from Fulton County, he was charged with 1 count of possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of or attempt to commit a felony, 1 count of reckless driving, and 2 counts related to the possession of controlled substances. Specifically, police listed 1 Schedule II substance and 1 Schedule V substance. Now, Georgia does not play when it comes to drug classifications. Schedule II is the category that includes substances with high potential for abuse. Things like oxycodone and amphetamines fall under that umbrella, so it's not a small deal. Schedule V, on the other hand, tends to involve prescription-based substances with medical use, but still regulated. Add the weapons component, and the legal situation becomes significantly more serious. And yes, the firearm charge is the one that could carry real potential jail time if prosecutors decide to push the case aggressively. But here's where the story takes a turn into "are you serious" territory. This happened on the same day he was celebrating a career high. Rod had just gotten word that his song Sinners, from the soundtrack of the 2025 film by the same name, was nominated at the Grammy Awards in the Best Song Written for Visual Media category. This is the kind of nomination that puts you into a higher tier of industry recognition, especially for someone who built a career on emotional authenticity and a raw melodic delivery that turned pain into platinum. And listen, this was a moment fans have been waiting for. Rod Wave has been one of the most consistent artists of his generation. Multiple #1 albums, a dedicated fan base that will argue he deserves more mainstream praise, and finally, the Recording Academy said, "Okay, yes, we hear you, this is art." And before the confetti even metaphorically sizzles, boom, breaking news banner. His attorney confirmed that he was released on bond the next day, set at around $8,000, which is honestly the price of a mid-level festival appearance or half of a diamond-encrusted chain link these days, so financially he's fine. But legally, musically, and publicly, that's where things start to get complicated. This isn't Rod Wave's first legal situation in Georgia this year. Back in May 2025, he faced more than a dozen charges from an incident that law enforcement alleged involved firearms, property damage, and assault. His legal team argued that he was actually the victim in that situation, claiming he was being robbed at the time. Then later, another charge surfaced over the summer tied to a battery allegation. On top of that, there was a domestic battery case in 2022 that was eventually dismissed. So what we're seeing is a pattern that continues to appear. Moments of massive personal or musical success disrupted by legal obstacles and sudden conflict, and the irony isn't lost on anyone. Rod Wave is known for his emotional transparency.
This is a man whose entire discography sounds like he records at 3 a.m. while staring out a rain-covered window thinking about life. He's built his identity on being reflective, grounded, vulnerable, someone who openly navigates trauma, loss, pressure, and mental health struggles. So when news breaks that he's in another legal situation, the public reaction isn't, "oh, he's being reckless again." It's more like, "man, he really can't catch a break." Social media had a field day, of course. Within hours, you had tweets like, "Rod Wave's life is just one long, sad song with bonus tracks. He got a Grammy nod and a mugshot in the same 24 hours. Duality of man." If you told me this was a lyric from his next album, I would believe you. Even the memes were emotional and funny, like someone drawing him staring at his Grammy announcement while in a holding cell with a single tear rolling down. But underneath the internet commentary, there's a very real conversation about the pressure that success brings. Rod Wave has spoken multiple times about how fame hasn't always been easy for him. He doesn't love the spotlight. He doesn't chase celebrity moments. His music often reflects how overwhelming the world can feel when it expects you to be strong, profitable, and publicly perfect. This moment, though, is one of those crossroads, because depending on how this case moves forward, the outcome could affect his touring schedule, brand partnerships, future award appearances, and potentially even the Grammy ceremony itself. If the case drags, the media is going to keep attaching the phrase Grammy-nominated rapper Rod Wave to every legal update, which can overshadow the art itself. However, it's also true that this industry has seen major artists navigate legal systems and come out the other side with even stronger cultural resonance. But that's not a guarantee. It depends on public response, legal outcomes, and how Rod chooses to speak about this moment in his music or interviews. And let's be honest, if there's one thing Rod Wave will do, it's turn pain into poetry. If you told me his next album is already 40% recorded in the emotional aftermath of this arrest, I would believe you without hesitation. He will make you feel sad about your life choices, your ex, your neighbor's dog, and a sunset you saw in 2018. all before the second chorus. The emotional impact is real. He will have the world reflecting. But humor aside, this situation is serious. A felony firearm charge is not something the system shrugs off. A Schedule II drug possession charge is not something prosecutors casually bargain down without some form of accountability. So the next few weeks and months are critical. His legal team will almost definitely try to argue the validity of the search or stop, especially since they have already hinted that police profiling is at play. They may claim the substances were prescribed, they may challenge the charge linking the weapon to a felony. These are very standard defense strategies in Georgia cases like this. For now, what the world sees is the contrast. Success and setback sitting side by side in the same headline. And that contrast is something Rod Wave has always written about. It's almost poetic, almost tragic, almost predictable in the narrative arc of an artist who has spent years telling us that even when things go right, something else always weighs on the heart. And the fans, they're hoping this is a moment he can move past without losing momentum, without losing hope, and without losing more time. Because whether you're a casual listener or a day one fan, everyone knows the same truth. Rod Wave is too talented, too rare, and too emotionally impactful to spend his prime fighting the system instead of shaping music history. We'll keep watching, we'll keep listening, and we'll see what the next chapter looks like. Hopefully one written on a stage, not in a courtroom. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Inside Hollywood for more updates and deep dives into the stories shaping the entertainment world.